Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast. Welcome, friends, to episode number 140 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. So have you come across the term manifesting and wondered what it was? You might be doing all the things to make something happen in your life, and you've turned to manifestation as a last resort, and maybe you love it and you've had a lot of success with manifesting and you want to turn that dial up a notch. Wherever you are at, I've got you covered. So today's podcast will help you demystify manifestation, and we will talk about what is manifesting really. So let's start off with the myths of manifestation. We have often seen manifestation as being this trick to get your results instantaneously and quickly. And I've actually had a lot of experience with manifesting that I do have this unique vantage point on what it is and what it's not. So I'll be sharing some of my own personal thoughts with you. And as a coach, I work with people on manifesting their ideal careers, more confidence in their lives, and relationships that feel so much more loving, wealth, all of these things, being more present in their day-to-day experiences. And we don't talk about manifesting in terms of how to magically make wealth or these relationships appear. We talk about manifesting in terms of challenging what we believe about the world, about ourselves, and what we're capable of receiving and giving, so that we are here to help create what is for the highest good for us, for others, and everyone around us. So in essence, manifestation is more than just magic. It is a combination of this self-awareness and this growth towards your limitless potential. And another thing about manifesting that I don't describe to is this idea that you are manifesting disease in everything that has happened in your life. I, for one, am not here to tell you that you created everything that exists in the world. I do believe that there is more to this world that I can comprehend or know of at this time. And what I will share, however, is that in my experience working with leaders and individuals, I've learned that we can make decisions about how we perceive the world, about how we react to and work with the opportunities and the challenges that are in all of our lives. And this choice about what we will do going forward and what we are doing now in that present moment is what makes the most difference. But it's not devoid of true context of privilege, context of equity, context of opportunities that may or may not exist the same way for everyone. But we are living our own lives in our own continuum of what we get to experience. We get to move that notch up. And so I think of manifestation and manifesting as congruency. And specifically, it is that set of decisions and choices in our life to live as if we were responsible for how we move forward. And that is what leads to the quote unquote magic that we will feel. And that feeling of being able to understand yourself so well that you can start to show up in your life the way that you desire. So many times, the lack of clarity we have is a lack of self-trust in understanding whether our desires are real, our thoughts are real. Does this really make sense for me? Am I just wishful thinking and later on I'm going to regret it? One of my most listened to podcasts is on how to make the right decision. So that tells you in and of itself that we are spinning on this idea of feeling a sense of deep trust in ourselves and deep trust in awareness and deep trust in that ability to understand who we are. And this is why we feel stressed many of the times, because we resist so much of who we are or what's around us, and we're fighting so many internal and external battles. So you will feel less stressed in the moment. You will feel that you can regulate your emotions and your nervous system to be fully present in the moment when you understand yourself better. And this is how you start to see how even the challenges in your life do not mean that you're not worthy, that you're not worthy of love, that you're not worthy of respect, of belonging, of having a place in this world. And this is something that many of us have to overcome and know and learn to know more and more about ourselves, which is that we are worthy and we are capable of so much. And therefore, why not manifest? Why not use that physical world as a way for you to learn more about yourself as you go out there and try to do new and different things to deepen your experience, to feel more? And that definition of manifesting is to create something in the physical world from an idea. Do you know how normal and prevalent that ability is in our world? It is everywhere. We all have that ability. You can call it the act of taking a goal or an intention and turning it into form. You can call it making something out of your life. You can call it living your life the way you want. You can call it creating a service or a product or a routine or a schedule. It is essentially taking ideas you have and seeing how to create them in this world. So manifesting isn't for a select few. And if you're living in this world, you are manifesting. You are doing something to create something in this physical world. Manifesting means that you're not just having thoughts and ideas, but you're taking action from there. And a lot of times that's where we miss the gap. We think of it as you just sit there and think and wish, and that's all you have to do. And I'm not saying that in and of itself is super, super powerful. And there's a way to do it and a process to do it that gets you really deep and clear that I do teach. But it's not just that. It is not just that. I don't know if you can hear, but there is a little bit of construction going on in our home. So there's a little bit of noise in the background. I apologize if it disturbs your listening experience. But we will go on because this is an important topic and I want to make sure to get this out for you guys. It is this really interesting thing when I talk about manifesting. I myself had some thoughts about it. I was like, you know what? Should I really do podcasts on it? Should I really do classes on this? Should I talk about it? Should I use those words? Why? Why do I think those things? Well, manifesting is often associated with a more woo culture. And as you are aware of my own leaning into spirituality, my own decisions to essentially be weird, in my opinion, which is actually not really weird, but my own discovery of just what interests me, what is fueling my curiosities, what fuels my desires, and actually exploring that was my path forward and became the purpose to love not just everything around me, but myself as well. And that includes my curiosities, includes the way I think about the world, includes the way I see the world. And we all have versions of this in our life. And so one of the most healing things is when I started realizing that in order to connect more to other people, even when we have different viewpoints or different ways of thinking about how to live life, is to think about what is more common and to see words as just words and language as just language. So even though manifestation can be associated with this woo culture, and you might feel you are woo or you might feel that you're not, what it really is just being open-minded to taking any technique or tools or strategies that would help you live a more rich and fulfilled and meaningful life, and utilizing it. So no matter what the word is for it, I've started to try to open my mind up. The same thing with spirituality and religion. Many of us feel very specifically one way or the other about, God, universe, or whatever you want to call that ever-present energy of love that's always around us. This is language, and we will identify with it or not identify with it. And that sometimes keeps us from experiencing more. So my own perspective has been that I've been more and more successful and more fulfilled and happy the more I open up to understanding, the more I open up to finding connections, the more I question and am curious about the things that I so firmly believe and start to play with them a little, right? Start to open them up. So if you're new to manifestation, if you're kind of feeling a little stiff around it, if you're a little worried about what this means, I encourage you to just lightly play with it. Don't put a ton of emphasis on it, and then it will or will not become true in your own life. And that is what I always encourage you to do, is to figure out what is real for you. Through your own experiences, tap into trying new, different things and seeing how it actually plays out in your life. So, language of the manifestation is important to kind of play around with. And language can help us feel like we belong. And for some people, manifesting isn't ideal, because it brings up this thought of something very fluffy, very intangible. Yet for many of you who do also live in the physical world and are really busy executing all day long, you long for some more magic in your life. You need both the art and the science of manifesting. And you want the spiritual and the energetic piece that leads you forward. You want a place where your heart starts to feel more connected to your mind. You also want the tactical and practical changes that give us the results you want to see in your life. And you want to be grounded in reality as well. And so you can become so good at creating change, at manifesting, that you have the ability to be more selective about how you spend your time. I want you to really think about that. That this is not something that's just like, can I do it? It's how well can you do this? Because you can go really far with the ability to create change, to manifest in your life. You will get to the point where you realize that you just need to decide. You realize it's less about being able to create the results, but more about what you want in your results. Imagine even being there. And you start to think about the quality of time and the presence that you have in your life differently. And you realize that there might be more that's possible, that you are more capable of things that you didn't even realize. When you start to see that you can be that powerful creator of reality, it might feel overwhelming. It might feel like a lot to take on. So take it in bite-sized chunks. What I'm encouraging you to realize is that given a certain amount of desire of reality, infusing that desire, and of a true reality that allows you to put forth effort towards it, right? You're able to do things within your control towards this desire. It will be a matter of time before you actually manifest the thing that you're thinking about. And obviously there are ways to think about it and do it so that it's more pleasant, more purposeful, more intentional, actually for the highest good instead of just something that we are trying to limit our thinking around. So it's the same as thinking about goal setting or creating powerful intentions. You start to realize that if you don't do it, you're going to do something, but you just have nothing leading all of the actions. And what you're trying to do now is saying, okay, whatever I want to call it, goal setting, manifestation, intention setting, wishing, I'm going to actually be more clear, whether it's my strategy, my plan, my knowing of what is going to happen next year and how I'll execute against it. This is the crux of it. You have to have some point that you start from. And manifestation isn't just having that thought and idea, but it's all of the things that you're doing to support. It's the systems, the processes you put into place, the rituals, the routines. It is the work that you do in the outer world and the inner world combined. And I always revisit manifesting because in our human world, our lives are not perfect. My life is not perfect as well. And being a coach forces me to get honest about who I am so that I can serve my clients even better. And when I'm leaning into both the art and the science of manifestation and coaching, I see both magic occurring and I see real life results happening at the same time. And it's what I know from my own experience to be true. And I cannot imagine a more fun way to live than to be utilizing the things that are within my control, that fuel me, that guide me, and feel purposeful in how I spend my time on the day-to-day basis. And there are these big and these small tweaks to your life that are constantly occurring, whether you desire them to be occurring or not. So when you start to proactively manifest, you think differently than the average person. You show up to your families and your friends differently amidst these kinds of changes happening in your life. You hold a different set of thinking and a way of interacting with the world around you. You sit up straighter. You learning how to manifest and design your life to adjust for all of these changes that are occurring and to flow with them will allow you to help people around you adjust more resourcefully as well. So it is so important for you to not only learn this skill, but to do it well. So something you can actually do is to take a moment today and really think about if you believed you could manifest and that you were more capable than you believed, what would you want to see in your physical reality? Maybe in the next month, the next 2 months, maybe this year or in the future, maybe right now. So just stretch your mind, even if it's just 1 more inch. Maybe it's 2 more inches. Maybe it's 10x from what you're feeling today. But just start to stretch your mind a little bit and allow yourself to hold that image or thought and just notice all of the thoughts and judgments that might be coming up. But just let yourself hold it despite any thoughts or judgments that come up about whether you can or you can't or make sense or it doesn't make sense. Just let it be there, right? We're practicing that imagination. And if you keep doing that over and over and over again, you'll start to see that there may be more out there than you believe to be true. There may be more ideas about how to do this than you've tapped into. There may be more creative possibilities, and you'll find your brain starting to meet your heart in its expansiveness and in its feelings of possibility. And it will stretch you to find more and creative ways to do this thing called life, finding more and different solutions to your everyday problems. So just try it today and let me know how it works for you. You will likely find yourself seeing more and more synchronicities and magic moments happening as you start to stretch your imagination a bit further and a bit further than it has ever gone before. And I'm also hosting a masterclass on this topic on December 31st, 2022. It is the art and science of manifestation, and you can sign up at the link here in the show notes. So go into the show notes and click on the link, or if you're in my social media accounts, you can go to the link in my bio or check out some of the recent posts for the link. And if you cannot make it live, we will be sending out the recording. So just register to make sure that you don't miss it. You'll get to take an idea you have and run it through the process during this free live masterclass. And I hope I will see you there. I will be sharing also more about the enrollment for Spiritual Achiever Coaching, how manifestation plays a part in that, so you won't want to miss it. All right, my friends, as you know, Spiritual Achievement Coaching enrollment is open. This is the place where we will take your biggest goals, we will turn them into reality every single time, and your success is guaranteed. So lean into your spiritual practices, friends, so that you can achieve more, have better relationships, and connect even more deeply to your mind and your body. And you can reach out at www.mayemson.com/contact today. We will discuss what results you would like to achieve and how you can get started today. That's it for this week. I hope to see you at the masterclass and in the coaching program. Feel free to reach out so that we can connect and you can learn more about what the program entails and what coaching looks like for you specifically. Have an amazing one. I will talk to you next time. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayemson.com. You'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.